The S&S Axis coaster is a very special prototype. It takes a 40 coaster and mixes it with a suspended coaster as a match made in heaven. This is something truly groundbreaking. However, it doesn't look like we'll get to ride it anytime soon. The only S&S Axis coaster announced so far is coming to Saudi Arabia. So unless you're extremely wealthy or a frequent world traveler, you're probably not going to get to experience this anytime soon. So for the average Joe like me out there, I probably won't get to experience this unless I ride the prototype over at the factory. But that brings up a very interesting point. Why haven't we seen more of these? The ride itself looks to check all the boxes. It's unique, it provides an experience unlike anything out there, and it's special. Okay, those are all the same thing. But regardless, this ride looks awesome, so why aren't parks jumping at the chance to get one? So let's talk about that. This is why the S&S Axis coaster is problematic and which parks will I think eventually get one. So let's jump right into it to the first reason of why the Axis is a bit problematic, and that is the capacity. It's no secret that the capacity on this thing is not great. The official brochure for the ride says that the capacity is approximately 685 people per hour. Now, that's not amazing in itself, but if we consider downtime and extended loading times, it really brings the capacity down to about 500 people per hour, and that's not going to fly at a big park, a big Cedar Fair or Six Flags park. And this makes sense. If you look at the one that has been announced, the Transformers one that is coming to Dubai, it's going to a family entertainment center, which gets less crowds than your average park out there. If we take a step back from the capacity, we can see that there are other issues with this ride. Now, the ride itself looks amazing, but so far we've only seen animations and a really small layout. If you look at the one that is coming to Dubai, it is a very small coaster. It is super compact and it goes around twice, I believe, but that's nothing like the ones in the animation. The animations show these big, gigantic coasters, which honestly is hard to fathom when the only real one right now is the prototype out there, and that's literally just a circle. So it is understandable for parks to be skeptical about this coaster. If a park is going to throw millions of dollars at this company to get a good ride, they want to be sure that it's going to be a quality product and it's going to be reliable. Now, reliability is the second one. It's simply an unknown right now. S&Ss are usually pretty reliable, but the keyword is usually. We can take a look at something like Steel Curtain. That's not reliable at all. But if you look at the 40 free spins, they are pretty reliable. So it's almost like a coin flip. So those are the three criteria that potential buyers have to fit. They have to not mind the capacity. They have to not mind the fact that it's a prototype, that we've seen nothing like it before, and they have to take a chance on the reliability. So are there any parks or chains out there that could be potential customers for this in the United States? And this will help explain why we have not seen one yet. First, I'm going to cross out Cedar Fair and say they are a no for now. Cedar Fair has been playing it very safe lately. They don't want to deal with another Top Thrill dragster. I'd say Cedar Fair is sick of these prototype things. If we look at Montezuma's Revenge, they were supposed to do a whole new refurb of that, and it's probably going to get scrapped. The Top Thrill 2 is a giant risk, but I'm not sure if they want to take on another risk by getting an Axis coaster. Cedar Fair hasn't really done much with S&S lately, and I don't think that they would jump on it for a prototype, if you get what I'm saying. Now, this would be completely different if S&S redid Top Thrill 2, then it would have further strengthened the relationship. I also am going to eliminate Six Flags, and this is because of the Cedar Fair Six Flags merger. These two together, I don't think would go for an Axis, at least not until the Axises are more established. So that leaves two companies in the United States, SeaWorld and Hershend. So what about these two? I do think SeaWorld can be a contender, or nowadays called United Parks and Resorts, but anyway, they'll always be SeaWorld. I think they could be a huge contender for one of these. They work with S&S frequently. We just got Screamin' Swings all over the place, and they are definitely willing to get a prototype. We look at the surf coaster, we look at the family inverted coaster, we look at the penguin trek, all sorts of these prototypes. They are a prototype magnet. We've seen SeaWorld try other companies as well. They went through Tidal Twister, which turned out to be a borderline disaster, but it shows that they are willing to take risks. So an Axis at one of these parks would be great. Now, which park in particular, I'm not sure. But if I had to make a guess, I would say either Busch Gardens Williamsburg, SeaWorld San Diego, or SeaWorld San Antonio. So those are my 3 picks for SeaWorld. So now we are at the wild card of Hershend. Hershend operates a few properties, but the main 2 I'm going to be referring to is Silver Dollar City and Dollywood. Each one of these parks could definitely benefit from an Axis coaster. Dollywood is a very good one here. I think they are a huge contender. If Dollywood were to get an Axis coaster, there would be a few options. Number 1 would be to make it some type of an indoor attraction, an indoor storytelling coaster. That would be pretty cool. And since the other Axis coaster is going indoors, it shows that it can be built that way, and Dollywood could definitely benefit from it. The other option is, of course, to just have it be a standard outdoor thrill coaster, which is equally as awesome. I think Dollywood has a lot of opportunities here, and I think they are willing to get it. Now, I know they are a little sick over the lightning rod thing. It's understandable, but I feel like they could possibly go for it. This is not a huge chance, but I think it is kind of likely, maybe like a 5-10% chance that they'll get Axis in the next couple of years. Who knows? A lot of it depends on how many parks get it besides them. And our last one is Silver Dollar City. They've gone for very unique attractions in the past, including Mystic River Falls. When they got Outlaw Run, it was very unique at the time. And they've done Powder Keg, and of course Time Traveler. Now, I know many of you are thinking it's probably too similar to Time Traveler, but stranger things have happened. I mean, Busch Gardens Tampa is getting 2 B&M inverts. So those are my thoughts. Now, Busch Gardens Williamsburg, I want to jump back here for a minute. In 2025, it is highly rumored that they're going to be getting a B&M family suspended coaster. But I find that to be a little odd. They just got another family ride, which was Dart Coaster. So could they be getting an Axis? Maybe we've gotten it wrong. I don't know. If you look at the plans here for it, the layout seriously could be an Axis. Some of the footers are in very odd places. But I'm not holding my breath. It is most likely a B&M family suspended coaster. But I think there's a small chance that we could have gotten this wrong, and it could be an S&S Axis. Just think of how cool that would be. A ride that would pay homage to Big Bad Wolf. It would be a suspended coaster, and it would be pretty awesome to see at the park. Now, I know this is wishful thinking. This is 100% wishful thinking, and they're most likely going to get a B&M family suspended coaster. But if not next year, then in the future, I definitely think an Axis at Busch Gardens Williamsburg would work perfectly. But if I owned Busch Gardens Williamsburg, that's what I would do. It would be epic. So those are just some of my thoughts about the S&S Axis coaster and why it's problematic. We learned that it's problematic because of the reliability, the nature of it being a prototype, and the capacity is not great. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about the S&S Axis, and what parks do you think will be contenders? What about international parks? Which ones do you think will get it? This is The Coaster Josh signing out. Thank you guys so much. You guys rock.